All right, we are recording. Chris Weibel, this is Johnny Cardinelli. You are,
Chris Weigel.
and we are a Century of Movies podcast. I'm recording from my hotel room here, as we were just talking about before we started recording, in my hotel room here in Orlando. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on our podcast, but I travel a lot as a stand-up comedian, and right now I'm doing a lot of cruise ships. So I got
Mm,
off a ship in Port Canaveral 2 days ago. I've been at this hotel for 3 days. Tomorrow I fly to San Juan, Puerto Rico, get on another ship. So that's why I don't have my usual headphones on, and I don't even have a mic stand. I forgot to bring my mic stand, so we're just gonna go holding a mic as if I was a stand-up comedian.
yeah, you got a lot of practice at that, luckily.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's been going on with you, man? How's everything in Charlotte?
Everything's great. We're all prepping for the heat, the humidity to come cruising in here. We got a little taste of it last weekend. It was high 90s.
Oh man.
Dude, and that humidity, dude. It's two things I miss about California the most. Can't find a good margarita and the humidity.
Yep,
Here.
yep, yep. I tell you, I'm from Cleveland originally. I had not lived there since I was 10, but I lived there during the pandemic for 2 years. It was not the snow that I
Yeah.
think about, like, oof, that got me. It was, and the snow was bad,
Yeah.
but it was that humidity, man. I mean, because I like to jog outdoors, and there was times I was like, I felt like I was gasping for breath. Like, I'm not used to it. And on cruise ships, I'm in that all the time. Sometimes I don't even get off the ship. Where if we're in like Nassau or these nice, I do Costa Rica, Jamaica. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I just stay in my cabin where I can stay cool. It's like
Oh, I
that's
believe it.
yeah.
Um, and part of my job is not only outside, but then I also have to do like attic inspections for roofing.
Oh, up in the
Oh,
attic. Oh
oh yeah,
God,
man.
dude.
It's like being in a bowl of soup. Just
Yeah,
year
man.
round. I mean, it's brutal. So
Oh
other than that, though, man, everything's great.
yeah.
Everybody's cruising, everything's awesome. So just get ready for a little heat. That's all.
There you go. How's the house? House coming along?
House is coming along. I discovered what I've really known all along, and that's just that I'm not really that handy.
Yeah.
A lot of trial and error, but I did put up some finishing trim in one of the rooms, did a lot of painting, did some corner
That
posts.
you learn as you go, and with YouTube videos, that's all. It's made things way different than it used to be.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I bought a uh, fridge for my garage. So I have a beer
Oh,
fridge
dude.
in my
Now,
garage.
now you're official. All right.
That's the height
Now,
of
now I might make a trip over and come visit.
I got it's the
I,
Johnny Cardinale beer fridge.
I was waiting for that.
Yep.
All
So
right. So, shall we get into Murder by Death,
yeah.
1976? All right. I want to start before we even get rolling with this. So, our last two movies were pretty intense. Network and then The Social Network. Pretty
Yep.
intense movies with a lot of heavy plot stuff and a lot of heavy dialogue. Incredible writers, Patty Chayefsky and then
Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin. And
Yep.
guess what? Even though this is another heavy writer, Neil Simon. Maybe not
Yep.
heavy, but incredibly talented writer.
Yep.
So what I didn't even think that when I suggested this. I suggested this movie because I hadn't seen it in a long time. I didn't.
Mhm.
I had a feeling you probably had never seen it or never even heard of it, but I wasn't sure. That's what I want to ask you right now.
Yep.
So, had you ever seen or heard of this movie before I brought it up?
I definitely had never seen it. I'm sure I've heard of it. But also maybe not because when you told me the title, I was like, Murder by Death? What? That's a bizarre title. So maybe I'd never even heard of it. But I had definitely never seen it for sure.
Oh, so that I was actually really glad because I wanted to see because it's such an oddball choice
Yes.
that I was interested to see what your thoughts are. Now, for those of you who haven't listened to the intro of the podcast, this podcast came about because me personally, I like movies older, and I mean 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. That's pretty much my favorite for the last 5, 6 years. Not exactly your forte. So
No,
I picked
generally
the
not.
movie before 1980. You pick a movie 1980 and after, and then we go back and discuss. So this one is 1976, obviously one of my picks. But also, this particular movie, as I learned watching this again, go,
Mhm.
oh man, it helps if you have a knowledge of some of these old uh, a movie and book detectives and
Yeah.
who they are spoofing which
Right.
I do because I watch these actual movies. So that's
Right.
why it's going to be interesting for me to see your take on this.
Yep. And I definitely have some thoughts as well. As I'm sure
That's
we'll get. As I'm sure we'll get into. I got some thoughts.
I could imagine. So,
Yeah.
did you did you anything? Do you know anything, or had you known anything besides just hearing the name about Neil Simon?
Well, I just know he's an incredible playwright. I've read a couple of his plays before. It's been forever. But I don't think I'd ever seen any of his films before. So obviously I knew who he was, slightly familiar with his work. I believe this is the first movie I've ever seen of his, though.
I'm pretty sure this was the first screenplay he wrote specifically for the film. You know, he was a guy. He's on record as saying that he thinks playwrights are more elevated, more sophisticated. His logic was playwriting goes way back 2,000 years to the Greeks, whereas movie writing goes back 100 years or something.
Right.
And so he's always been more obviously known as a playwright, and that's where his love passion was. However, I believe he was nominated for 4 Academy Awards for writing. So his stuff translates pretty well.
Yeah, it must be nice to just write amazing plays and then be like, oh, maybe I'll give this movie thing a shot and also nail that. So
yeah, it's funny when I was watching this, Neil Simon he started to remind me of quite a bit about Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And it turns out both New Yorkers, both Jewish, both have a similar kind of look, both have a way with words, the dialect. And turns out way back in the day, the Sid Caesar show, I believe it was Sid Caesar. So yeah, the show of shows, whatever, as young writers coming up, they both at one time wrote for the same show.
Wow.
So I would wonder if I would love to know if those two ever sat down to lunch and just had a discussion, talked about writing, talk about comedy or, or whatnot,
Oh yeah. That's incredible thought just to be like, what are you working on? Oh, I'm doing this. So what do you got going on? Oh, I'm trying this. Like,
yeah, just to hear two minds of that caliber. So you mentioned it before we hit record.
Yep.
This cast.
Oh my God. This cast is the whole movie for me. It's just absolutely incredible. And it's funny because there's like a lot of people that I recognized, but nobody whose name I could really fire off, like right off the top of the head, besides like Peter Falk, probably. And then, but there was a whole lot of like, oh, there's that guy. Oh, there's that. Oh, there's this. And then when I watched it, and then when I was looking through everything, I was like, oh my God, this is like an all-star cast for this era for sure.
It really, really is.
Yeah, and you're going to know more about this than me because I'm not familiar with a lot of these people, but
I'm guessing you were familiar, maybe not this character. Obviously, this is far and away different than in pretty much anything he ever did. But Alec Guinness.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and Peter Sellers,
of course,
whose character we can talk about a little bit later in the movie.
Yep.
But let's just run down the cast before we talk about the individually, as far as how impressive this cast is. Eileen Brennan, Oscar nominated. James Coco, Oscar nominated. Peter Falk, multiple Oscar nominated, multiple Emmy winner. Alec Guinness, Sir Alec Guinness, knighted, Academy Award winner, a Tony Award winner. Elisa Lanchester, Academy nominated. David Niven, Academy Award winner. Peter Sellers, Academy Award nominated. Maggie Smith, one of maybe the top 5 most honored, decorated artists in British history. Wow. Oscar, Tony, Emmy, one of the few to win the Triple Crown of acting. Knighted or whatever, Dame. I don't know how that works. Nancy Walker, although mostly a TV actress, certainly had a long career and did some directing too. And then Estelle Winwood, who lived to be 101 years old, also a long. This. What the hell?
Dude, incredible. Incredible cast. And a lot of these people, I'm going to be honest, like I have not heard of Maggie Smith, Nancy Walker, Estelle Winwood. I know obviously the hits, and that's it. And that's why I love doing this podcast, because I was really blown away by the entire cast top to bottom.
When you start looking it up, right?
Well, and just the performances, like, oh my God, look at these people I've never heard of. And the talent that is going on here is just was very cool to see.
Oh, sure. And you know who we didn't even mention is James Cromwell. his
Yes.
very first film performance.
Was it? Okay. I was
Yeah.
curious. Because
Even
it's
though
fun.
he did one of the worst French accents I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? The buns. Okay, take it
Yeah.
down a
Which, yeah.
notch.
Well, it's funny because I was watching it and I was like, oh, I guess I've seen this guy or whatever. I was like halfway through the movie before I realized who it
Oh,
was.
really?
He was
Oh,
so young.
wow. Yeah,
He was
I think, dude, I think
so,
he was like 32, but
mm,
he's so specific looking to me. And
yeah.
my favorite movie of the last 30 years is LA Confidential, and
Mm,
by far.
yeah.
And in that movie, he almost steals that movie for me, James Cromwell.
Yeah.
So I'm just a huge fan of that guy. And
Sure.
this was a bizarre little role for him, but it was funny to see him in it as well.
Yeah. Talk about a movie with a great cast. My Lord.
Yeah,
LA.
yeah, exactly. Another one. Yeah. So I saw a little interview with Neil Simon talking about Murder by Death. And by the way, this movie did pretty good at the box office. It wasn't massive. It wasn't certainly a bomb. It did pretty good. At the time that this came out, a lot of Agatha Christie books had been there was in the 1970s, like Death on the Nile and Murder on the Orient Express.
Mm-hmm.
These were like movies. I believe they were TV movies, but they were very popular. So he was just spoofing, what was really popular at the time, which was, which is how the game about this. And he even talked about it. And he said that, when he was talking with the producers of, he goes, this is who I'd like to get actor wise. They're like, great, we'll get him. He goes, really? He goes, he couldn't believe that they got everybody he wanted. He goes, you're kidding.
He's like, man, Hollywood is actually pretty cool. I can just cast anybody I want.
When you're Neil Simon.
Kidding. No kidding. It's funny because I was watching this and I started to have a feeling that this, obviously it's a parody spoof, but I was thinking like, is this based on a Murder on the Orient Express? Because I was trying to think of something that it could have been based on. And then afterwards I was looking into some stuff and I was like, oh, okay. So, I was kind of close.
Very close. It was actually like loosely based Agatha Christie, and then there were none.
Right.
Which is a takeoff of 10 Little Indians. And then there were none. I watched that movie maybe a year ago. It's good. It's one of those things where it's another one of those movies where they're all in the house and they all keep getting knocked off one by one.
Love it.
So, that's pretty much probably the main, comparison.
Yeah. Which I've never heard of, but
yeah. And, and we haven't even mentioned acting wise, Truman Capote.
Right. That was like a crazy little cameo there.
Are you, as a writer yourself, are you a Truman Capote guy? I know he wasn't a huge screenplay guy. He was more of a book guy, but Breakfast at Tiffany, In Cold Blood.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about him. I saw In Cold Blood. I've never read any of his actual books or anything.
I've never seen the movie, but I read the book In Cold Blood.
Oh, interesting. And that's the Kansas, the murder of the family in Kansas. Yeah. It's been forever, but everything I've seen on him or heard on him is just how eccentric he is and just how bizarre. And obviously Philip Seymour Hoffman won the Oscar portraying him. So
totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He beat Joaquin for Walk the Line, which I had a little issue with, but
really?
Yeah. I thought Joaquin was great in Walk the Line, but
I thought he won the Academy Award for that movie.
No, he lost it.
Oh no. Man, no.
I know.
I loved that movie and I loved Joaquin's performance. I didn't see the other one. I didn't see what's the name of the movie where he played Capote?
Is it called Capote? No, is it called In Cold Blood? I can't remember actually now off the top of my head. But
I know what movie you're talking about, but and it's funny. I could just totally picture Philip Seymour Hoffman, and in a weird, bizarre sort of coincidence, I guess both of them had major struggles with, the liquor, the alcohol, and in fact, when Capote was making this movie, they wanted him off of it. The director and Neil Simon wanted him off because he's just, like you said, eccentric, but also he wasn't an actor.
Right.
He wasn't used to these long days on set. They said he forgot his lines. He wouldn't hit his marks. He's just so eccentric. I thought he. What did you think of him in this movie? Just
I thought he was great.
me too.
I was like the cat. The cast is obviously, in my opinion, what works about this whole thing, and I just kept being like, oh, here's another guy because he doesn't come in till later.
It's like, exactly like, wait, another crazy
guy?
eccentric character? What the fuck?
Yeah, where are they finding these people? Yeah, it was awesome, and that was another one. I didn't put that together either at first. Who it was, I was definitely like, that guy looks familiar too. And then as I kind of went back and looked through stuff, I was like, oh shit, that was Capote. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's a good point that you make, because after we establish all these heavy characters, all so specific, a little elevated, a little bit bigger, we need somebody big to be Lionel Twain. And Capote, in my opinion, perfect.
Yeah.
So weird, so eccentric that you actually bought that this guy would put this whole thing together.
Right. And live in this crazy ass house. And then, he walks in and you're like, oh, yeah, all right.
Yep, this is all making sense now.
Yep.
Yeah, anybody else like somebody more normal or something, I just don't think it would have worked.
No, like very few people I like off the top of my head, especially you would know better than me in this era. Although I do know quite a bit about the 70s, but you would know better than me. Who else could?
Well, really, like I said, one guy that comes to mind for me, just because he's such a great actor, and he probably would have made some choices, is Hackman, Gene Hackman. Yeah, because he could do anything, but because Capote was such a built-in character himself, he didn't have to try to be weird or eccentric. He just is.
Yeah,
he just really is. So you didn't see like this acting stuff. It's when I think way back to when I was young, when I first saw this, and even when I'd seen bits and pieces of it through the years, but never really said. All these years until I watched it again, I thought Peter Falk was doing Columbo in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you associate that with him, he's a detective. I didn't realize he was doing Sam Spade till I go, oh. And here's my little. I have a little Peter Falk complete tangent to go off for real quick.
Nice.
So when I came to move to Hollywood to get into comedy, acting, or whatever, I got a job at a bank right on Hollywood Boulevard. But I saw an ad in Backstage West, tour guide, Universal Studio. For the summer when busy time, I went and you had to go there and you had to literally audition, and I auditioned to be a tour guide. You go to class for like 2 weeks, and this is me on the weekends. I'm still working my day job, but on the week I go to class, and then we have to, we're all young people, everybody want to be an actor. I want to be a comedian, maybe an actor or whatever. I don't know what the hell I wanted to do. Just wanted a summer job working on a studio lot, big time stuff. Mm-hmm. And my buddy, Ron, he was a little bit older than all of us, and I remember he'd had a corporate marketing job. He just hated it. He hated his life. He quit, and he had some savings. I'm just going to be a tour guide. And on his days off, he would get his resume and go because we had access to get on the lot, which was a big deal back then.
No doubt.
Get past the gate, but we were up on top where the trams were. But he would walk down to where the studios were and the bungalows where producers and stuff had their offices, actors had their offices.
Yeah.
And he would just knock on doors and walk in and say, hey guys, I'm just looking for an entry-level job. Here's my resume. He was a corporate guy, a graduate, and he ended up getting hired by Peter Falk as his assistant. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And he was Peter Falk's assistant for years. And here's a funny story. So Ron one time called me and he goes, hey man, I'm at Peter's office. This is at nighttime. He goes, you want to come down and help me out with some stuff? And then we'll go get dinner afterwards. I'm like, sure. He goes, great. He got me clearance to go on the lot at night. Yeah. I get pulled up to the gate, Johnny Cardinelli. Oh yeah, right this way, park over there. I go walk into, so dude, we're in Peter Falk's office, probably about 7:00 at night. What we're doing is we're putting labels on these envelopes and putting DVDs in the envelope, mailing to every member of the Academy a little so for Peter Falk's performance so he could be nominated for, I can't remember if it was an Emmy or an Oscar, but I'm looking at all these home addresses, Spielberg's, you know what I mean? All these huge people. I'm like, whoa, and I'm new in Hollywood, so this is all blowing my mind. Anyhow, we're getting ready to leave. Again, it's pretty dark out except for the office we're in. I'm walking down the hallway and I see this gorgeous blonde girl walking with this really short older guy and this, some other young guy. I didn't even notice the young guy that much, but 3 people. But I'm just looking at this girl going, who is this? This got to be a famous actress, right? Just statuesque blonde girl. I remember she had a suit jacket on and these nice jeans. And I'm looking at her and the old guy's talking, but I'm not paying attention. I walk by, I'm like, I didn't recognize her. And then, whatever. And then Ron comes up later and goes, hey, man, did you see who that was? I go, no. He goes, that was Al Pacino. It was Pacino, the old guy rambling on. I didn't even look at him.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. And
So
you never
anyhow,
found out who the blonde was?
Nope, never did. And
Wow.
but anyhow, yeah. So I actually met Peter Falk briefly
Yeah.
a few times.
Cool.
I went to his birthday party at Michelli's. Remember Michelli's on Cahuenga?
Yep.
Italian restaurant. I went there. Peter was considerably older at the time, but
Sure.
and then just another offshoot for whatever reason. Recently, I have started binging Columbo, which I never watch. I never watched an episode. Dude, on our tour guide, we used to go by the car. His famous Peugeot would be parked right there. Guy, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what car that? People are like, oh my God, that's Columbo's car. They take pictures. It would just park there on the side.
Wow.
Not like a big attraction. It was just literally parked right there.
Huh.
Which
Okay.
we were advised to point it out if we saw it.
Right.
And I'm watching it right now. Over the last 2 months, I've been binging Columbo, and I fucking love it, man.
Do you? Okay.
Awesome show, yeah, dude. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Yeah.
All right, good. Because funny enough, I started binging the A-Team. I was dead serious. I went back to the pilot, and
Of all things.
and so I'm looking for older shows, and like just I have it on the background while I'm doing other stuff at the house. It's incredible. So maybe I'll switch to Columbo because
And just in a fit of coincidence or irony or whatever, one of the other vehicles that used to always be parked when I was doing my tram tours was the A-Team van. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look over there to my right, you'll see the and people take pictures of the A-Team van.
of course.
It's just
yeah.
this is back before Universal Studios had all these massive rides and everything. It was
Right,
we had the Jaws thing, and if you look past the Jaws thing, that's where the opening for Murder She Wrote was, and all that kind of. I mean, it was a fun little tour back. But I used to do that tour 5 times a day, and I used to always have to act surprised when I saw things.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look to my right. It was hilarious, man.
What a fun gig, though. That's awesome.
Dude,
Very cool.
it was such a blast, such a blast. But anyhow, Ron, I messaged Ron 2 days ago, and I go, because him and I live like within blocks of each other now, and I go, dude, we got together. He went on after Peter Falk, because Peter Falk passed away. He ended up becoming Mike Ovitz's assistant when Mike Ovitz was the most powerful man in Hollywood. Ron was one of his 5 assistants. He was Barry Diller's assistant as well. So he's got some interesting stories about some very high, powerful guys in Hollywood back in the day.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
So that was my little Peter Falk tangent.
Nice.
And by the way, this movie, do you have a favorite character, favorite actor, or in this movie, or who you think maybe dominated or etc.?
I am probably gonna go with. It's really hard. I don't know. Peter Falk. I'll probably go with him. I just there was just something about him. He was so obviously doing like a caricature, but I probably laughed the most at him.
He came on the screen and it felt like things changed. It just got better whenever he was there. Yeah. And I think that's why they introduced him. He was doing, by the way, Humphrey Bogart the whole time. Sam Spade from like the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah. Well, dude, and that's funny because it actually kind of reminded me of that.
That's literally who he was doing. Humphrey Bogart impression. But he's so Columbo that you're going, it's kind of Columbo too.
Right. Yep. But yeah, I mean that's a tough call. There was a lot of talent in this, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Falk for sure.
Just in a little, it just dawned on me for those of you listening to our who have been following and listening to our podcast, please review and all that kind of stuff. But one of our first movies was it the first one? Was the Maltese Falcon. Mm-hmm. So now we're coming around again. It just didn't even dawn on me till right now that you've already seen the Maltese Falcon. Yeah. He's the guy. Peter Falk is the guy who is most people consider the guy who kind of owned this movie.
Yeah.
And Neil Simon liked him so much in this movie that he wrote The Cheap Detective for Peter Falk, which is the sequel to this movie, which I've never seen. Which now I'm going to. But Peter Falk and Eileen Brennan both reprised their roles
Oh, interesting.
in The
Okay.
Cheap Detective. Yeah. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me know how that is.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Curious. But how about you? Who was is Falk your favorite character also, or?
He was, just because I love Peter Falk, but there's certain scenes with Alec Guinness, dude,
Yeah.
where this guy was not known for comedy, not known
Yep.
for silliness. There are certain what I there's just specific scenes where I'm going, God, it's so funny, so fucking funny when he's when he opens a door in the kitchen for the maid and she comes walking in, and then he feels around and he feels down and he feels her face and he goes down to her breast. Oop. You know, he realized she's a woman, you know.
Yep.
That
Yep.
just
Yep.
a quick moment and then when he's yelling at her facing the wrong way,
Oh yeah.
you're fired. And she's sitting behind him.
Yeah.
He goes to the door and stay out. And she's
Yeah.
sitting
Yeah.
at the table.
Oh,
I
dude.
thought it was so for Alec Guinness to be doing this silly stuff. I just thought he was so good. And we can talk about it at the very end too, when he becomes all those different characters.
Yeah.
I just, nobody had ever seen. And from what I heard, he took this movie kind of like he needed a paycheck. This is a paycheck movie, and
Sure.
and I'm guessing Neil Simon's name attached is not a bad thing, but it's Alec Guinness. He's used to doing higher elevated stuff. And do you know what movie what script he was reading while he was filming this?
Star Wars.
Yep. Neil Simon said he was, Neil Simon was such a huge, Neil Simon said point blank, he goes, he was most in awe of Alec Guinness on set. And he told him, he goes, hey, if there's anything in this movie that you don't like, let me know and I will rewrite it. I will change it. And Alec Guinness says, no. He goes, this is wonderful. He goes, I don't get to do this kind of stuff very often.
Wow.
Then he goes, and Neil Simon goes, so one day I see him in between and he's reading this. And he goes, Neil Simon goes, what are you reading? He goes, it's this science fiction script, Star Wars. And he goes, I don't know. It seems like it's kind of good. And then here's a little offshoot of him filming Star Wars, which he famously didn't like, Alec Guinness didn't like after he did it and stuff. But he was given, it's people, it's not complete. I don't know completely, but somewhere between 2% and 2.5% points to be in Star Wars. And also he got a better salary than he was used to, which is why he did it. And then he wrote in his journal, Alec Guinness wrote in his journal, he goes, I hope this movie becomes big because they're saying it's going to be big like Jaws, and I will end up making maybe 200,000 pounds off of it. All told, once all the monies were done, he made $95 million off Star Wars. Can you imagine, dude?
Incredible.
But to go in 1976, he films this. And in 1977, he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. What a change, man. What an actor.
Yeah. And has no idea the cultural impact he's about to have on the next several generations.
Imagine being knighted. I think he was knighted in 1959. He's an Academy Award. He's a Tony Award winner. And his career is about to completely hit the stratosphere at his age in 1977. It's wild.
Yeah, it is. I didn't even put all that together. I didn't know he was knighted 1959.
Yeah, I believe it was not that young, that early. Wow. By the way, she wasn't given a whole lot to do, but one of those things where every move she made was fucking perfect. Maggie Smith.
Yeah. Which one was she?
She was David Niven's girl, that the Charlestons. The two rich Brits.
Yep.
Every line that she was given. Now, do you know who? Do you know who those two characters are based off of? Who they're parodying?
Yeah, I did see that. It is. You said Maggie Smith, right?
Maggie Smith and David Niven. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the Thin Man.
Yep.
Which I don't know anything about either, but I was able to find some of that stuff.
Yeah, The Thin Man, I think the first one was 1934, 39. It was a series, but it was these, again, this is my era of watching movies.
Yep.
William Powell and Myrna Loy, they were just these two really lovable actors back then
Mhm.
And just their on-screen dynamic was so like fantastic. They were a married couple who all, but it was real comedy driven and kind of they kind of just off the cuff with each other.
Mhm.
And their chemistry was so genuine, which you didn't see much in movies back then. Not that they other actors didn't have chemistry, but you could tell they were improvising with each other and filming it while it was
Yeah.
filming, and it just worked. And they became like everybody just loved the two of them so much that they ended up doing a ton of movies together. But
Oh, cool.
a bunch of Thin Man movies together. They were probably that couple that back then everybody who loved Hollywood, of course, all you had was magazines back then, and
Mhm.
everybody I mean, my guess is everybody hoped that they would get married in real life. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
they
right.
look so perfect together on
Yeah.
screen.
Yep.
But anyhow, Maggie Smith, her character in this movie, she's parodying Myrna Loy. They asked Myrna Loy to do the role, the actual Myrna Loy.
Oh, wow.
And she obviously would have been older, but she refused because she goes, it doesn't make sense for Myrna Loy to parody Myrna Loy.
Good point. It's
And she also said, she goes, I don't want to have my ass grabbed by David Niven, because there's a point where he pats her ass.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
And just going back to it, it's amazing how this all comes around and stuff. But I've been binging Columbo, Peter Falk. Season 1, I believe, was episode 2, maybe even episode 1, or maybe it was season 2. But Myrna Loy guest stars on Columbo. So
There you go.
small little world, all intertwined in a weird way.
Yeah. Jace. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know anything about Thin Man. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And the thing is, they were American.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, William Powell is one of my favorite old actors. He's so smooth. Everything he does, it just seems like this easygoing guy. So I read some comment. They said, I thought it was just really great. They said William Powell is to dialogue what Fred Astaire is to dancing. I go, that's perfect. It's like effortless the way he just kind of moves and talks and
Mhm.
But anyhow, the two
Wow.
of them are not British, which is why I find it interesting that they got two Brits to parody these two characters that were not British to begin with. But it still works.
Oh, and to be honest, that doesn't surprise me with how fucking bizarre everybody was. That doesn't
Exactly.
surprise me at all. Like, but yeah, they were both incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't want we can breeze through Eileen Brennan playing off Falk, fucking phenomenal, dude.
Oh yeah,
Some
yeah.
of her moments are so like just perfect timing. James Coco, hilarious. Like
Yeah.
almost everything that guy did in this movie was just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know who Elsa Lanchester is? Did you look her up at all?
I did not get to her. I got her right here though.
The Bride of Frankenstein, bro.
Oh, nice.
You know that famous
Hell
thing
yeah.
with the hair, the gray hair in the middle?
Yeah, I see.
That's
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my god. Awesome.
It's weird because her playing off of Miss Marple's, one of Agatha Christie's, of course. Miss Marple playing, she didn't really have a whole lot to do in this movie.
Yeah.
She was introduced late because her character. There's not a whole lot to spoof with her character.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have a maid. I think that was just added.
Yeah.
The maid she comes walking in with.
Yep. Yeah, I was curious about what all that was about. I also thought it was Mrs. Marble. So good
Yeah.
to see that I got that wrong. But yeah, I was also curious about that.
Here's another little oddball thing that I found out. Elsa Schlesinger and Estelle Winwood is the lady in the wheelchair.
Okay.
Her nurse.
Yep.
Estelle Winwood was, I believe, 94 at the time of this filming, and her and Lanchester hated each other on set.
Damn. Uh-oh.
They hated each other on set. I guess they had acted together in 1955. I don't know if anything had happened back then, but they were both strong-willed women. They were constantly trying to upstage each other, and they did not get along during the entire filming of this movie. Isn't that bizarre?
It's 20 years later, like, let's let it go.
Well, not only that, you're 94, she's in her 70s. Guys, what the fuck are you doing?
Taking it to the grave.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And they said those two kind of play well off each other, I thought, though.
Yeah.
Again, didn't have a whole lot to do, but
yeah.
they did their parts really well. Estelle Winwood lived to be 101, by the way. And she said she smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So who knows?
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knows anything. You're going to live till that's it.
Yeah.
No matter what.
We can briefly talk about Peter Sellers. He was great in this movie because he's always great.
Yep.
There's no way this gets filmed today. Obviously, it's offensive. You know, even some of Peter Falk's lines were offensive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's 1976, but also Charlie Chan, you know, was a famous, you know, 1950s, whatever. Charlie Chan was never played by an actual Asian actor. It was played by a Swedish guy. So they were kind of spoofing that in a way. It still doesn't make it right. I understand. But you know, just I know people would get offended by it now, but you know, he was still funny as fuck, you know, because Peter Sellers.
That was probably my favorite line in the entire movie. Was every time he introduced this kid, he would say, "This is my adopted son," because I'm adopted, and why would you ever introduce anybody that way? I just thought that was the funniest shit ever. Oh, this is my adopted son. Like, why would you ever?
And on top of that, it's usually my first adopted son. He was the third adopted son.
Yes. You know, like they kept changing it and like peppering different things. I thought that was just incredible. I've never heard anything like that. That was so funny.
Yeah. That again, watching this the second time, because I watched it twice for this.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue goes so fast and quick that you just miss it. Like, it's a boom, boom, and you that's such a great line that I didn't catch the first time. You know, you catch the big ones and you know.
And there's so many, especially in the beginning. It's just like bang, 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 and like when they're setting up the characters and everything, it's just like holy shit. Yeah, it's really well done. Yeah,
exactly. When they're driving in and David Niven's on the phone drinking a martini, you know, and it's like the phone stripped. Well, what did it sound like? Snip. It's like,
and then. Yeah, whenever they stop to hit the payphone, like this is a terrible place to get lost, and he's like, even worse would have been a couple miles back the road.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
Just really quick, Wayne, third adopted son. Let us know Wayne has invited them for. I don't know. I'll just getting them there. It was just like you said. All the characters are set except for Marple, who came up later, because there's nothing to set up for those two.
Yeah.
So they didn't introduce them till they were already at the house.
Yeah.
But James Sir, this is one of the ones here that I thought was funny. What the Benson mum.
Yep.
When David Nivens, learning the name, he goes, James Sir, Benson mum, how odd. And then he goes, my father's name. Your father's name? My father's name was How Odd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Maggie Smith, leave it, Dickie. I've had enough. It's just the way she said that. That was one of the ones not meant to be a laugh out loud. And my second time watching, that was one of my favorite lines. Leave it, Dickie. I've had enough. With this whole name thing.
Yeah. I like the door's locked from the inside. That can only mean one thing. I have no idea what that is.
I have no idea what it is. Yeah. There's so many great lines in here.
Yeah. It's too many. I tried to write some of them down, and I was like, Jesus. That's
same here, man. I got like 3 pages, and it's like it doesn't matter but the thing is, there's almost no plot to talk about, so I might as well just talk about the fucking lines.
Yeah, dude. And that was like my big thing with this movie. It's like we get like halfway through before we realize any kind of a plot, really. Whenever he shows up to the dinner party, because I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What is going on here?
Dude, I think I marked it. I think we're at minute 49 when they finally all sat down to dinner.
Yeah. Okay. I had it at 40, the hour mark.
Minute 49, or maybe it was somewhere around there. But I'm like, because I was the same way. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? How much intro do we need before we get on to the movie?
I'm just dicking around, but it's funny. It's entertaining. So I was like, wow, whatever. Like, all right. And then
exactly. That's exactly it. You're just like, fuck it, man. Let's just listen to the funny, because this plot is not going, we're not trying to make sense of this plot. It's not going to happen.
No. And I actually, I mean, yes, there's a lot of offensive things in it, but, that was just the era back then. And I was like, oh my God, like that, like I forgot they used to make movies like this. Like it was not a big deal.
Exactly. Diamond, when he's first meeting Sir Bensimum, when he goes, it's just such a great, another just great Sam Diamond thing. Freeze, Blinky. Turn around, Jeeves. Don't test your luck, Shakespeare. Just what a fun character to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so many good ones.
And then when Alec Guinness goes to the kitchen, 9 o'clock, time for dinner, and he's sniffing, and there's nothing going on. She's still just sitting there.
Yeah.
She's in a little light on the seasoning, are you? There's nothing. A little light on the seasoning.
Yeah.
And by the way, can we just stop real quick? Maggie Smith in that white gown. My God, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Just, man, does she feel that? Did she just look perfect? Like just like everything a dame, an exalted sort of artist, female, she just embodied it all, and while playing in a screwball comedy.
That's the other thing, like to the cast, like some people, I could feel like they kind of were in on the joke, but then there was other actors that were like, no, I'm playing this seriously. You know what I mean? Which made it so much funnier,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That just took it. You could tell they took it so seriously. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought most of them did like were just really into their characters, hamming it up.
Yes.
Because they were all equally hamming. It all worked,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, hamming it up for sure,
man. Like James Coco, almost everything that guy did was fucking hilarious. We'll get to one of my favorite lines in the entire movie, because it's towards the end.
Okay,
it's all four, and then it's funny when they're all finally get together, and Sam Diamond, when Sam Diamond starts talking here, all four together, Sam Diamond, the lady here in the rented dress. And she's always embarrassed by him. You know what I mean? Sam, sorry, sweetheart. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah. And then in the beginning, she's like, "Can I get a kiss?" And he's like, "I don't kiss."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then he goes to the can. She goes, "Please excuse Sam. He was shot in the head last week. He shouldn't even be out."
Yeah. And then he's got the bullet hole. Oh my God, a bullet hole in your back. You should see the other guy.
Exactly.
Oh my God, so ridiculous.
And then Miss Marble and the nurse entered. This is the time I marked down, not the 1 hour. Miss Marble and nurse, they don't enter until 37 minutes into the movie, because there's no need, because I just watching this movie going, this movie could completely exist without the two of them.
Oh yeah.
It might even be better without them. They were completely unnecessary. But I guess because she was such a famous. She was such a known entity, Miss Marple, that you had to include her, I guess. But Diamond, who's the old geezer?
So many classics.
And then all of a sudden that weird voice. It's the mask. That creepy voice.
Yeah.
And then he comes in. It means dinner's served. We have no gong. It's like...
And I'd like even the doorbell, there was just somebody screaming.
Oh, do you know who screamed that was? Who actual scream that was?
I couldn't tell you for $1 million.
That is Fay Wray from the original King Kong.
Yeah, no way I would have known that.
Yeah, I just happened to stumble upon it in trivia, but yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
exactly. Oh. And then Maggie Smith screams when she sees the room, the mouse, and he goes, "Oh, that's a door." No, that was just whatever. That was just Miss Charleston. She screams, "Ah!" And Benson goes, "Oh, the doorbell." And she goes, "No, that was Miss Charleston."
Yeah.
He mistaked her screams. I mean, there's some of the jokes are just coming so hot and quick and fast
and ones that would easily go off the rails or feel overdone, or you're like, we're going back to this one. They just keep working somehow. I don't know why, but cast, whatever, just the overall vibe of it. Like, that doorbell joke. in the wrong hands, that gets old real.
That could have been totally hackneyed. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah. So
it's what it is, man. You just fall in love with this cast. You're like, I'm on. Well, let's go for this ride, no matter what.
Yeah. Because I'm still not 100% sure what happened at the end, to be honest.
We're gonna get to that.
Oh yeah.
And Peroni drinks the wine, and also,
Yeah.
It's not poison. It was just a bad year. Okay. It's that bad.
Yeah.
Because it was a bad year.
Yeah.
It's so fucking so stupid, but funny as hell.
And the way they lean into like the satire of all the different the French people, the British people, it's so great.
Yeah. And then honestly, dude, Sir Alec Guinness serving with the ladle.
Oh,
empty,
yeah.
Serving empty. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
Oh, and then the best is the French dude gives him a spoon and goes, "Here, you try." And then he tries it. He's like,
he takes
a bite, and then he's like, "I'll be right back," and like storms into the kitchen, fires the chef,
and he's not even looking at her.
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Yeah,
dude, it's so. If this movie Stoned would probably be I'd be laughing my ass off the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, I might have to let you know how that goes after this. Maybe
you're fired. You understand? And he's shaking his finger, and she's still sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was great.
Yeah, and then when they stand up, when Charleston, David Niven, back then we said, "Let's stand up and to switch spots."
Yep.
And the swords fall, and he goes, "Saved by the fact that I'm enormously well bred."
Yeah. Yeah, which I didn't even fully get what that meant, but I was like, "Hey, all right." But yeah, there's so many good moments, and it was cool. Like, obviously, this led to what's the big franchise now? The Knives Out series.
Oh yeah, which I've never seen.
Yeah, it's Knives Out. Just is completely just less goofball.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, I think this kind of opened the door for maybe all spoofs.
Yeah,
this is predates Airplane, Top Secret.
What about oh my god, what's the Christopher Guest one? The real turn it up, speakers go up to 11. Spinal Tap. Was this before?
I think this predates Spinal Tap. I'm trying to think of anything that might have been around this same time, but I mean, this is one of the first ones that I can think of that's just an all-out spoof of a famous genre of thing that were very serious.
Yeah.
Like all these particular, these were not goofball. I mean, the Thin Man, they were kind of silly. They were kind of silly characters, but everybody else was very serious, kind of like, Sam Spade. There was no goofing around with Sam Spade. All of a sudden, they're spoofing the seriousness of Sam. It's funny because you know who else spoofed Sam Spade right around this exact same time? Oddly enough, that it's just dawning me right now, is "Play It Again, Sam" by Woody Allen, which had to be might have been 1975, even 75, 76. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is they're saying Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles.
Yes, that's what I say. Mel Brooks. That's who I was thinking.
Mel Brooks. Yeah. He got some in there too.
Yeah, this same time period.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Play It Again, Sam. Did you ever see Play It Again, Sam?
No.
Woody Allen? That led to a whole resurgence in popularity of Humphrey Bogart. He had gone dormant for years. Yeah, and it's Woody Allen, and he's got this sort of alter ego that he talks to, who's always a shadowy figure, and it's a guy playing Sam Spade. Here's how you should treat the ladies. You know what I mean? He goes to him for advice, and it led to like a resurgence in popularity for. But anyhow, we're back to The Room now. This is one of my favorite moments of the whole movie. Again, I have a lot of these little favorite. The lights go out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The light. This is getting to be around midnight. So the lights go out. Oh, this is before we meet Truman Capote. They're all just sitting around. Lights go out. All of a sudden, Perot, James Coco, I smell something. Good God! Franks and beans.
Yeah.
But then the lights are out. This is one of my favorite. Maggie Smith. Dickie, don't you know how I get when you touch me there? And then it's Peter Falk. My hands are in my pocket. Or no, David Niven. My hands are in my pocket. Sam Diamond. I'm afraid they're my pockets. Dickie, sorry about that. Maggie, Dickie, behave yourself. Such a funny little, funny little thing, man.
Yeah, hitting them all.
Yeah, but Dickie, behave yourself. And then the lights come up. Truman appears. Truman Capote.
Yep.
And what an appearance! All the lights and all that stuff. It worked. It worked great. I thought it worked.
Totally, great. Yeah. And they even commented. They're like, "What an entrance!" And as I was literally thinking, "Wow, what an entrance for this guy."
Yeah, and I believe this was the first movie that the director ever. He was a TV guy. He directed like episodes of Rhoda and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just a TV, and then he got the chance to direct this, and I believe he directed the next one, the sequel. The Cheap Detective as well. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. They built this entire. I mean, I guess there's a really big set. They built it on the Columbia lot, which is now the Sony lot over in Culver City. So the entire thing was shot on this giant big set that they built.
Yeah, I had never heard of the director, and then I looked into him, and I was like, I didn't know much about him at all.
Yeah,
like work. So
yeah, just one of those steady TV guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Another favorite line. Goes off to Wayne. Can't pronounce prepositions. And then and he goes, "I'm number one." Sam Spade goes, "You look like number two, if you know what I mean." Now that's not the funniest line because that when I was a little kid and I watched this or whatever, saw part of it, I thought that was really funny when my dad told me what it meant.
Right.
But this was what I thought was funny. What does he mean when Maggie Smith goes? What does he mean, Kensington? The way she goes, "I'll tell you later." It's disgusting. The way she did it so real was just I honestly think she might have been the most underrated actress in this whole thing. She was fucking perfect, man.
Yeah.
To play the damsel in distress, who's just in love with Sam Spade and the way she's dressed and that cheap cocktail look, but she did it so well and she played it real. Remember when they're driving in, she goes back to get gas.
Yeah.
And then he sends her back because why didn't you tell me we needed oil too? Makes her walk all the way back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucking hilarious, man.
I also love the dude that would get super mad whenever the guy would forget to say the pronouns.
Oh yeah, Truman Capote. Yeah.
Yeah, Capote would get mad at the other guy, and it's like he doesn't speak the language. Like, and he just kept saying like, "Say the pronouns."
You don't use the pronouns or articles.
Yeah,
what's wrong with you? Yeah.
I just thought that was so funny too. Just kept bringing it up every time.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of spoofing the Americanized the way back then that we would spoof the way Asians spoke.
Yeah,
it still was funny, and the reality is, although it was a caricature, I don't think Peter Sellers went way over the top with his, doing an Asian guy. I thought it was a very sort of realistic portrayal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, offensive, sure, but overall,
just because it was not an Asian playing it, but it wasn't like he was making fun of their culture or acting so bizarrely goofy. I thought, especially for a guy like Sellers, who easily could go way over the top.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I thought it was great, but I just love that. Like, say the pronouns. It's not like the way he just kept riding them on it.
Yeah, and Capote's going, "There's gonna be a murder." And the old lady goes, "Murder poo?" Yes, we're gonna have a lovely murder poo. Diamond, why don't you push her wheelchair down the driveway? We got business here. Guy doesn't give a fuck, man.
Oh, let's get down to business. I'm after $1 million here.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, so then.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry to keep these moments. They all happen one after the other. Again. Truman leaves. Capote leaves. They all decide to hold hands. Now they're all sitting around the holding hands. And Sam Diamond looks at the old nurse. Stop that. Stop it, I said. The nurse the nurse is giving my palm the finger, the dirty old broad, and then she just laughs.
Yeah, I have that one in here too. Yeah,
Oh man, I thought that was so funny the way she laughed at that. For
yeah,
having so little to do, Estelle Warren, the old lady, she was fucking perfect, man.
yep.
Her little
I just
chuckles and that little face, yeah.
there's just something hilarious about calling an older woman just the dirty old broad.
Yeah, and but the fact that you actually in the movie she actually is being naughty. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Stop
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Stop it, I say.
Oh my god,
Fucking so dumb.
so dumb, but it's just
Yeah.
working
Yeah,
the
you
whole
just go
time.
with-
You're like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on with all these little moments, but then okay, they get together. They go out. The two guys. They go out to the kitchen. Who was it? Niven? No, wait. Who goes out initially to the kitchen?
What part are we talking about here?
When they're leaving the room, and it's Perrier, Wang, and Marple. Don't they go? They go out to the kitchen, right,
Yeah,
to see what's going on.
yeah, they're trying because Capote has now told them why they're all there.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So then there's the murder.
Yeah, they find the guy.
Yep.
They come back. Doors locked.
Yep.
And then they go get the key, and now the Tux is there, but he's not.
Yeah.
That was just kind of funny.
I like
key.
that too.
Here's the key, and then they finally get in the room. There's nobody there, and then the moose is talking to them. He goes, "Voice come from cow on wall. Moose! It's a moose, you idiot!"
Yeah. That was the other thing I liked too. They were so dumbfounded. They were like, wait, they took the body but left the clothes. Now they took the clothes but left the body.
Yeah.
They're just so, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like throw everything in there that you feel like, Neil.
There's no we won't say no to anything in this one. You just
pretty much, exactly.
Yeah.
Opens bedroom door. What's the other thing? Oh, I mean, it's just back and forth to the kitchen. Then they're back, and then they're back, and then I thought it was funny when Sam Diamond and David Niven went out, and then on the way back, David Niven goes to the bathroom. Peter Falk goes into the room. There's nobody there. He stands there, opens the door to the bathroom. It's the bedroom with the dog. Closes the door, stands there. Opens the door again, and David Niven, I said I'd be out in a minute.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man. It's like, I just thought that was a funny moment too.
Yeah. And then the cat that sounded like a dog was an interesting.
Oh, way from the beginning, yes.
Way in the beginning, yeah.
Oh, don't mind it. That's the cat.
Yeah, we got the cat fixed, and he was very upset about it.
And then he makes like a growl. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Again, slapsticky. So murder passes, no murder. Wang opens the door. It's Twain, Lionel Twain. Now he falls over dead.
Yep.
And then they find the cook. She's in a box. That again, here we go. Throw him whatever you feel like, man. We're
yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, it's a mannequin. No, it's a dummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they adjourn to the drawing room, and they all have dirt on each other.
Yeah.
Which was now I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
They all knew something about each other. They all had a relationship with Twain, and all these. And the funniest one of all that was Tess. Twain picked up Sam at a gay bar. Yeah. I was working on a case.
Yeah.
Every night for 6 months. I was getting $50 plus.
I never did anything with a man I wouldn't do with a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
What does that mean? Like,
oh God, that was just so funny, man. First Butler, and then they all go to bed for the night.
Yeah,
and each survives the murder. Another little quick aside: the two Charlestons, David Niven and Maggie Smith, when they first go to keep in mind they're spoiled rich people, right? Yeah. Martinis everywhere. When they first go to their room, it's all the cobwebs everywhere.
Yep.
Turns out it's just fake, but they never bother to clean them. Now they're lying in bed with all the cobwebs everywhere. They don't clean. They just just sleeping in this bed with all that crap everywhere.
Yeah.
So they all go to bed for the night. Each survives their particular murder attempt, which are all, does any one of those, did you find any of those particularly funny?
I mean, the Scorpion one I liked, but just because how it played out at the end.
Yeah, and the way they even the way it played out while they were in bed. Is that a
Yeah.
scorpion? You know what I mean? They just
Yeah. Yeah, and then later, like, oh, it was a fake scorpion. She's fine. Like I gotta get to the doctor. No, it was a fake scorpion.
honey, can we hurry this up? Yeah. Those two are great together. I love David Niven, by the way. I don't think he did a ton in this movie, really. David Niven. I thought he might have been, only because I know the actual Thin Man and Powell was just so much more effervescent.
Right.
He David Niven was more like the demure James Bondian type of guy. They weren't so as flirtatious in a goofy way as William Powell and Myrna Loy were way back. But Maggie Smith, I just thought was just that upper crust English lady thrust into this ridiculous situation. I thought she was so perfect. Niven was great. I just didn't think he was given much to do.
Yeah. I would agree with that too. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Like they each had their own little thing on, like what their murder was. The collapsing ceiling. I was also like, that was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the poison gas, the bomb. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know.
The bomb. Turn around, because I'm gonna cry. Then you're
yeah.
You just hear him crying. That was just such a funny moment.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, here we go. Like now we got a little action, but even like the action was done very funny and just slapsticky and so goofball.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're out to the denouement, I guess, if you will. Now they all come in one at a time. Very good, Mr. Wang. And there was another line, just some of these quick lines that Neil Simon wrote when Wang first comes back into the room, when we were just talking about when Wang initially went out to the kitchen, found the butler dead. He came back into the room, and Diamond goes, "Wang, where was you? We was worried about you." I mean, just a bunch of what is it called? Alliterations. Wang, where was you? We was worried about you. Wang, where was you? We were worried.
Yeah.
And the way he just tossed it out. But anyhow, now we're back towards the end. Mr. Wang comes out, and oh yes, as you can see, I can see. So I see. It's just so dumb.
And then he's got the other line. He's like, "This man has no heartbeat. If this continues,
no pulse and no heartbeat."
Yeah, if condition doesn't change, he's dead.
Yes, exactly. And like you said, they deliver them very real for the movie they're in.
Oh, 100%.
Nobody's winking at the camera. That's why it all is funny.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we have the butler. He's alive, turns out.
Yep.
And they're each coming in one on each other with their own little stories.
Yep.
And the funniest one. Did you have a favorite one of those?
I thought they were all great. I did, but what's yours?
Dude, Perrier, when he comes in and you are Lionel Wayne's sister. When all of a sudden, when Alec Guinness becomes a female,
Yeah.
How did you, just the way he did it, not over the top. And then he goes, "You were born with money, fame, respect, everything you wanted except for beauty. Because let's be honest, as a man, you are barely passable. But as a woman, you are a dog."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "That's your opinion, big boy." I thought that was so fucking funny. You are a dog. That's your opinion, big boy. This is fucking a year later. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then they all leave.
Mm-hmm.
He removes the masks. It's Twain.
Yep.
And then he goes off on, oh no, they haven't left yet. They goes off on how all their books add late characters and plot twists towards the end. And Neil Simon said that he used to read those books and it did tick him off. Like, hey man, how are we supposed to figure this out? You're just creating something at the end of your book, just to give it an end.
Right. Like, yeah. This is unsolvable. It's not fun to try.
There's no way I could have known this.
Yeah.
Just introducing these. He goes, your $1.95 books will be selling for 12 cents. And so they all leave, and now driving off, and then the funniest one for me when they're driving off. Now again, this you have to know this movie to understand what he's spoofing here.
Yeah.
When Sam Diamond, who remember he said he was an actor. Hi, Sidney Loomis or whatever. I'm an actor, And then they're in the car. And he goes, "So you really are Sam Diamond?" "Yeah, I was in disguise, in disguise, in disguise."
Yeah.
And she goes, "So we'll probably never see each other again. I'll be around. If you need me, all you got to do is whistle. And you know how to whistle, don't you, baby?" She goes, "Of course." "Okay, you've ruined it."
Yeah.
In the movie, it's To Have or Have Not, I believe it's called.
Okay.
It's the first movie with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. It's what started them. I believe that's where they met, and that started their love affair and their on-screen and off-screen romance. And the famous line is, I believe she's smoking a cigarette. She goes, "If you ever need me, just whistle. You know how to whistle, don't you? Just put your lips together and blow." Famous line. And that's risque for back then. This would have been 1940s, late 40s. So that's why he goes, he's doing the same thing. "You know how to whistle, don't you?" And she starts explaining that she knows how to whistle. He goes, "Okay, you ruined it."
Oh,
that's what they're spoofing right there. Yeah. If you know that line, then that line, then if you know the line from the original, then that line becomes twice as funny.
Yeah, because I still thought it was hilarious without even getting the like the actual joke. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. It's a famous film noir-ish whatever line from way back in the day.
Okay, learning all kinds of stuff on this one.
And then what is it? So there was no murder, Pop. So there was no murder. Yes. Kill Good Weekend.
Yeah. From my third adopted son. That's just the funniest shit to me ever, dude.
Now, I don't know how I saw this, but I did see this. I don't know when or how, but I saw this. There was a deleted scene after they're all leaving. A car comes, they pass, a car's driving up towards the castle, and Wang and his son pass by the car. And in the car, it's an old, 1920s vehicle. It's Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And Watson goes, "Excuse me, do you know where the Wayne Mansion is?" And the son starts to go, "Oh, don't." He goes, "No, right up that way to the right." And then they drive off. And the son goes, "Hey, why don't you tell him, Pop?" He goes, "Let idiots find out for themselves."
Yeah.
And apparently the cast didn't want that in there because it thought it made their characters look kind of foolish. They thought that scene kind of upstaged their characters, so they didn't want that scene in it. And I can't disagree with them really, but that is a deleted scene that never made the movie.
I also like that that's what they thought would make them look foolish. That really? Like,
exactly.
They're like, all right, you guys are being ridiculous now with this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Oh, another funny thing, just that I totally forgot. Well, we didn't really talk about their entrances with the falling sculptor coming down.
Yep.
We talked about the Fay Ray, the scream. It's let me see here. I have it in my notes. It's when I'm trying to think of who it was, which one it was. I think it was when Diamond entered. Why don't you something like that? And he goes, somebody says, "It fell on my." He was standing. I can't remember now, but anyhow, the line was, because remember he kept drawing the footprints.
Yeah.
He goes, it fell on my thing while he was standing in a Chinese footprints or something like that. How would you know it'd be Chinese footprints?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's in my notes somewhere, but anyhow, it was another one of those passing lines that just.
Yeah. I also in the beginning with Sam Diamond and the Dame, they're like, "Oh, I heard he's got no pinkies." So what? He's only got 8 fingers? No, he's got 10 fingers. Just none of them are pinkies. And then
exactly.
on to the next scene, like they do such a good job of letting you know, like, okay.
Oh yeah, you better just toss any suspension of belief better out the door.
Yeah, get it out of here.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. And then one last one. I don't hear nothing. What do you hear? Double negative and a dog.
Exactly. I don't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do. Double negative and a dog.
I mean, that's just clever writing right
It
there.
really
Man.
is. Yeah.
That's when you're going, okay, this is in the hands of a very clever, a wordsmith, which is my
Yeah.
favorite kind of writing.
Yeah.
Again, very Woody Allen-y to me.
Yep.
Like I said, I wonder if those two have ever like been. I wonder if they're friends. I wonder if they talk, if they've ever commiserated, or
Yeah.
it's just interesting to me. Two New Yorkers, both from the same time frame. You know, both Jewish, just very similar.
Yeah.
Guys. But yeah, I've never heard anything about them being together. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I'm sure like they're running in the same circles in
Has
New
to
York.
be.
Yeah, like who knows how well they got along, but they definitely had a couple Manhattans together, I'm sure.
You would think, yeah. All right. So, any final notes, or before I ask you, what did you think of this movie? Now that we've gone through the cast and the jokes, what did you think of the movie overall?
I thought it was outstanding, and I'm a big fan of not doing any research before if I've never seen it. I don't like to watch even for new movies. I try to not watch the trailer.
Could not agree more.
It's so fun. So I didn't look into anything about it. All I did was just put it on. So I knew absolutely nothing, and I thought it was outstanding. I like structurally, I was like, I thought it was just very entertaining. There's none of it makes any sense. I still didn't really fully understand the ending, but I don't care. Again, we've discussed this. I watch movies to be entertained. I don't necessarily try to pick them apart or, well, this should have happened here. This happened here. So overall, I thought it was a great find. I really, really enjoyed it.
Wow. Because, just because you're a screenwriter and stuff and no, nothing made sense at the end. It's almost like he did what he said everybody else did.
Yeah.
He just introduced all kinds of crap and didn't justify any of it.
Yeah. And I love that. Like it broke so many rules. And then also there was like an added, like obviously this could never get made now, which I also appreciated. Like, oh, this is very true to its time. Like you were saying, it's offensive, but not over the top. And not offensive for its time, which I think is also important. You know what I mean? It was just how things were done. Yeah.
You can remove, okay, whatever. I mean, you can remove 5 lines, and if you're going to get offended because he's not an Asian character, but the actual Charlie Chan was never played by an Asian character, so it's almost like they're spoofing that. But again, I understand if somebody would not be like cool with that. I totally understand that too. But it's funny. I thought you were going to be like, okay, man, I like the characters, but the movie overall, I thought you were going to be like, not a fan. You know what I mean? Because it did not. There was no real ending, that made any kind of sense.
But I actually thought that totally worked for for the movie itself. That's not a movie you're going into for like a solid resolution, some great character arcs. You know what I mean? Like it's just. Who gives a shit? It was entertaining to be able to put that many unique and hilarious characters together, and then on top of the cast,
and keep it rolling and really not cheat any of the characters. Like everybody kind of had their shining little moment.
Yeah.
Some dominate a little bit more than the others because their characters naturally do. Sam Diamond's going to dominate more than a Miss Marple, just the nature of the character.
Sam Diamond's the shit, dude.
Seriously, did he not fucking own that shit?
There was like scenes where he was like, it looked like he had a lazy eye. Then there was another scene where it looked like he was cross-eyed. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
He's got a glass eye, Peter Falk, right?
Yeah. But today they would kind of fix that. They would do something about that. But
that was almost one of his, I don't want to say claims to fame. But have you ever seen Kevin Pollak does an impersonation of Peter Falk?
Yes.
And he can actually do the eye, and it's part of the it's a really fun. But Peter Falk has always been open and he's always never tried to shy away or was embarrassed by it. I think it was 3 years old when he lost it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just like freak accident or
I can't remember. I think it might have been not an accident. I think it might have been like a disease or something like that. Right. Yeah. What a career though.
Yeah.
What a career, Falk, man. He played Columbo, I think, from 1968 to I believe 2002 in variations. Not like it was. He would go. There would be years where there would be none. And it was there was only like the series because they were 90 minutes and they were interspersed with other sort of movie of the week types. I think there was like 6 episodes per season, but he played that thing for a long ass time, dude.
Incredible. I'm going to go back. I got a couple more A teams to get through. But after that, I'm going to check out some Columbo because I could watch that dude. I could watch that dude all day. I just found him just great.
Bro, I'm telling you, I just decided to go, how has I never seen Columbo? Let me watch one. Fucking hook, bro.
Yeah.
I've already binged 1, 2, 3, and 4 seasons. You know what
Damn,
I mean?
okay.
In like the last 2 months. So
yeah.
I'm gonna be bummed when I run out. That's how bad it is.
Is it what are they, like 20-minute episodes? 30 minutes?
90 hour and a half.
Episodes?
Each episode is an hour and a half. They were like movies of the week.
Oh! I don't think
they're like little movies, man. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I thought it was like a serialized show.
No, they're like little movies, and they were shot mostly around L.A. And so seeing L.A. in the 1970s, I always find that fascinating too.
Oh yeah,
seeing them driving down streets and stuff. Oh man, I fucking know that street right there. I've seen that before. You know.
Yeah.
In fact, there's actually a website. I haven't been on it yet, but I listen to some Columbo podcasts. Some of them are really good. And there's a website. I haven't looked at it yet. I believe it's called the Columbo Files, where they try to let you know where everything was shot. Where was this filmed? Where was this done? How was this done?
Okay.
So, and there's a book out, a new book actually. As bizarre as it sounds, I think it was released this year, called Shooting Columbo by one of the guys. I don't know if he's a director or producer, but one of those guys. It's all about the shooting of Columbo, and I'm definitely going to buy that as soon as I get back in town. I already looked it up on Amazon. It's like $22.
Yeah. Damn.
In other words, dude, I'm into Columbo.
Yeah, dude, you are down the rabbit hole. I love it.
And by the way, if you like this character, Sam Spade, the Chief Detective, which I'm going to watch soon.
Yeah, definitely let me know how that is, because I could use a little more of
just this kind of movie, man.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, like we talked about with my cousin Vinny, just a fucking blast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everything had to make sense. Like my cousin Vinny, everything made sense, obviously. This movie, nothing made sense. Who cares? It was just, you're just along for this fun ride with these actors, these characters, and, you know, it all kind of worked. I will say that I thought, imagine if Neil Simon, at the end of this all, could have actually pulled off a fantastic ending as well. That actually made you go, oh my God, how did I miss this? And turn it into an actual, on top of all that, an actual fantastic murder mystery on top of everything else. That might have been like the icing on the cake, but again, that's just nitpicking.
For sure. Also check out one of the Glass Onion movies. I would be curious what you think of it, because it's like verbatim this. It's literally a dinner party, whodunit. But I mean, there's very good characters. They're not nearly as goofball and wacky as this, but I'd be curious for your thoughts if you get around to it.
How many are there?
Oh, I think there's only 2, and they're both completely independent.
Okay, a Glass Onion.
I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, the Glass Onion.
Okay. I know the Beatles song. I wonder if it has anything to do with the Beatles song.
No, it's called Knives Out.
Oh, Knives Out. Okay.
Knives Out, but one of them is called Glass Onion.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. No, I've heard about it. I need to watch for sure. You know me, man. New stuff is just when I can go watch a 1930s movie, I'm on board.
Yeah. I would just be curious, because it's literally, you can tell that they were like, oh, let's just do like an updated
influence. So okay, so do you have a letter grade for Murder by Death?
Oh, I'm going an A.
Okay, nice.
Hey, I mean, again, going in completely zero expectations, no clue, didn't know what the fuck was going on.
That's why I was really, more than any of our podcasts so far, I was like, man, I have no idea if you're going to give this an A or an F. I really had no idea, man.
Yeah. No, I give it an A. And then I didn't even realize how astounding the cast was too. Like a lot of people I hadn't heard of. I mean, how can you not? You know, I just thought it was incredible.
This is one of those movies. But I'm with you. I'm giving it an A. And not only that, this is a movie that every couple of years I'll just sit down and go, I'm just going to watch Murder by Death. Yeah, it's a breeze. 90 minutes of just having a great time.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah, I mean, this is definitely one I will put back on in the background and just have and just chuckle at because it was very entertaining.
I wish they had like a behind the scenes documentary on the whole making this movie.
Yeah.
Seeing the actors how they related off screen. Love to just see how these people all just got along. Such a powerhouse, you know.
Yeah. And that was the other thing too. I couldn't find a whole ton like on YouTube or like I'm curious like how popular this movie really is. Probably not very.
And I think it's forgotten this day and age.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. So good call bringing this one back because I would have never seen it.
And for the record, it is free on YouTube. I don't know where you watch it, but it's free on YouTube.
I watched it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did.
All right, man. So this is Essentially Movies podcast, which means you are up next and to decide which movie we will review next.
Yeah, so I was going to do something else, but inspired by today, I'm going to say we do Walk the Line.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
I have not seen Walk the Line in so long. By the way, that movie that is called Capote. That
it is called Capote. You're right.
Capote, yeah.
Okay.
So fuck it. Let's do Walk the Line. We haven't done anything like biopic yet.
I haven't seen it since it was out.
Me neither.
So
yeah.
That's definitely a revisit for me that I'm totally into.
Yeah. So we'll tune in next month for a little Joaquin and Reese and see how it holds up, huh?
Absolutely. Again, you guys, if you like our podcast, please subscribe, leave us a review.
Yeah.
We are doing this monthly because we travel and work so much, but we try to put our work into it. Leave us a 5-star review. Tell your friends about it. Hit us up on social media. Johnny Cardinale, you see my name right there. You can find me on all social media. Chris Weibel, same thing. Hit him up. And we will see you guys next month on A Century of Movies podcast. At some point, I think we can get some of that goofy music for that podcast music. A Century of Movie podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And we are out.
Yep.